Hello everyone, this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. Welcome to our third class in this series on flexibility. So today we're going to be doing actual just stretches, passive stretches. The static stretches I talked about, I've been talking about the difference between dynamic and passive. So this might be a class you're really looking forward to. Sometimes we love the idea of not having to put too much of an effort into something. It's actually very much part of our everyday life. There are some days we have this energy and we desire the thought of pushing yourself, using more of an effort in your day, or there's an inspiration, you might be inspired. And then there's some days you're a little bit less so, but it's not that you don't get inspired. Sometimes by letting yourself kind of take a pause, take a rest, don't overdo something, will give you the energy to do something, to move forward. Maybe you're stuck somewhere. And that's the ebbs and flows of our lives, but also the ebbs and flows of our days. It can start, you'll be one way in the morning and then in a different state in the afternoon. So today we're going to yesterday was a little bit more invigorating, and the reason why it was invigorating was because, and the day before, because we were concentrating on these muscles, in not just stretching them, but also strengthening them. And when you're strengthening a muscle, that requires energy, and that requires you to think. You have to be very mindful of what you're doing. And then with passive stretches, you're still mindful, but you're in a little bit more of a it's a little bit more low-keyed and just relaxed. So that's what we're doing today. And especially after all the work that we've done on our hip abductor muscles, which we really need to now stretch out. So let's take a moment. Make sure you have a strap handy or some type of a towel or a blanket. You don't absolutely need it, but if you have it, it would be helpful. If not, then don't worry about it. And if you're a YouTuber, you can always go and put me on pause and go off and get something. If this is done live, you can feel free to take a second and do it as we settle down into our seat. So this is our centering seat. This is called the easy seat, cross-legged seat. Sit up nice and tall and find that spine. Notice where it is at this moment. Where is your spine? Is it slightly rounded? Is it tall? How is your energy at this moment in time? Without changing it, just letting it be what it is, and then letting your body decide, not your brain, not the prefrontal cortex, but the actual self. What does your body need now? And it will know as we progress. It will take you on that journey. So let's close our eyes and let's begin to take our breaths and connect with the breathing. Keep going, feeling the breath as it fills your rib cage, and then as you exhale, there's a slight drawing up through the pelvic floor, the belly pulls in. There's a natural rhythm to your breath. And as you do this, the mantra for today is, I believe in myself. A very obscure mantra. What does that mean? And you don't have to delve into analyzing it. It's really just the word believe. It's very much a heartfelt word that's positive and loving and kind. So when you say to somebody, I believe in you, it means you trust them, you understand them, you're giving them the latitude to do what they wish, the latitude to be themselves. The same thing goes for you. So rather than understanding what does myself mean, it's just believe gives you that oomph, that energy that you need to feel good and alive. So let's take one more deep breath, and then let's come off of our seat and roll onto our backs. And as you lie down, keep your feet flat on the ground, knees pointing upwards. And this is called a constructive pose. So it's just simply letting your psoas muscles begin to relax, elongate. Let your hands rest next to your sides. And let's take a few deep breaths here, reconnecting to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling should feel really nice. Whatever time of the day it is, whatever you've been up to. Even if you need energy, you can get it, you can acquire it through these exercises, stretches, or if you need to relax, the same thing. Take your strap, just take and place it next to you, near you, and extend your left leg, excuse me, to the ground, and hug your right knee into your chest. As you hug your right knee into your chest, bring that right ankle just above your left knee on the thigh, and let your right knee open. So your hips are squared. Try and get the knee at a point, that right knee, to the point where both hip bones are on an even plane. Your left leg is awake and alert, so we call it active. Flex the foot or push through the wall mount of that left foot. And take a few breaths here, feeling in. As you inhale, arching your lower back. As you exhale, press your lower back into the ground. Holding these stretches, creating more flexibility, giving you this sense of youth, because when you're flexible, you feel young. And then from here, I want you to bring your right knee back into your chest, and if you do have a strap, take the strap and place it on the ball mound of your left foot. If you don't, then just take the hands behind the leg, or you could place your hands on your foot, or depending on your flexibility. Inhale, re-hug your right knee into your chest, and then lift back up. So not on the arch itself, but on just above the arch. And then inhale, re-bend your knee. Inhale, and you'll feel the lower back lift. And as you exhale, press the lower back into the ground and keep your right leg pointing up towards the ceiling. Now, not all of us can keep our leg straight and point the leg towards the ceiling, so just drop your leg down until finally the leg can straighten. With keeping the right knee soft, take your right heel, press it up towards the ceiling, and lower the toes down. You should feel lots of sensation in the back of your legs. When we did our balancing in that second class, our legs, the standing leg, had a lot to do, a lot of pressure on that leg. So you might be feeling this stretch today. Take an inhale and then exhale. Take your right hand, place it on both of the straps. Take your left hand on top of your left hip bone and open your right leg out to the side, coming into a straddle. Make sure that left hip doesn't lift off the ground. Excuse me, I still have my cough. Open the right leg out. And if it's too low and the hip is lifting up, then just pick the leg up a little bit. And take a breath in and feel that stretch through that leg, through that left hip, through the right inner thigh, lower back. Inhale, lift your right leg back up. Take both straps with the left hand. Take the right hand out to the side and cross your right leg over your left. So this will feel uncomfortable but amazing at the same time. And you could keep your gaze upwards or look towards your right arm. So feeling into all those muscles that we worked on in the session just before. You could feel, and also the first one. Lots of stretching here. Holding, 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 then inhale, lift your right leg back up. And just take the strap from off of the foot and just place it next to you. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then place your left foot back on the ground with the knee pointing up. Right ankle back on the left side. Coming into thread the needle. And take your arms and place them behind your left thigh. So your hands are going to interlace behind the thigh. Or some of us can go further and feel free to grab hold of the shin. I'm going to stay with I'm going to keep my hands behind my thigh and create a 90-degree angle with that left leg. So let's take a few breaths here. Pushing that right knee forward energetically, so you don't use anything, just your mind. And then draw your left knee towards you. Soften the shoulders down, chin slightly tucked. Breathe in and out, feeling this stretch in the hips. Nice. Keep the breath moving, keeping the, so that you feel more, relaxed but alert at the same time. Place your left foot back on the ground, release your hands from behind the legs, open the legs out to the sides and drop both knees to the right. Keep your right ankle on your left thigh if you can. If that hurts, take it off. And let's take 3 deep breaths here, feeling into that hip opening. This is a hip stretch, the left hip. Maybe you'll feel other parts of your leg. Breathing in and out. So these passive stretches, they go deeper into the muscle itself, and also the connective tissue that wraps, intertwines around the muscle and the tendons. So this is where these are important stretches. Now, place that left foot back on the ground and heel toe that left foot back onto the mat and take your right leg off the ground. Knock your knees together and then open the feet about as wide as the mat. Let the arms slide next to your sides. And just take a moment here, take a breath in and arch your lower back, and as you exhale, press your lower back into the ground. That should feel really nice on your lower back. Exaggerate the stretch. Inhaling, arching your lower back, and exhaling, pressing the lower back into the ground. And then inhaling and coming back to center. That's heel toe, the feet, so they're hip distance apart, knees are hip distance apart. And then extend your right leg on the ground. Take your left knee, hug it into your chest. And then place your left ankle on your right thigh and work on exploring the hip joints here. Where are they? Is one lower than the other? Is the left hip lower than the other? Then just lift it slightly up. That means the left knee has to come up a little bit. Take your right hip down a touch. And then press your left knee down towards the ground, feeling that sense of that opening of the hip flexors, also the rib cage around the tummy. And then take an inhale and exhale. Re-hug your left knee into your chest. Now strap up that left foot. the ball mound of that left foot. Take each strap with each hand. Hug that left knee into your chest. Take an inhale. And then exhale, straighten that leg. Each leg will feel different. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. One more set. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Now hold this stretch and just find where you need to position your legs so you can keep it straight with a soft knee. If it's bent, then just keep dropping the leg down until finally it's straight. And take a few breaths here as you kick your heel up to the ceiling and draw your toes in. And breathe in and out. Soften the shoulders down, chin slightly tucked. And then take both straps with the left hand and take your right hand, place it on your right hip and inhale first and then exhale, open, let that left leg open out to the side. And go as far as what's comfortable, keeping your left bottom cheek on the ground. And notice one side's different. You're going to see a difference, or with your, there will be a difference no matter what. And then see what happens here. Explore the stretch without tugging on the leg, just holding it and letting it, gravity pull it down a little bit, without forcing the stretch, because we have very delicate ligaments and tendons that don't stretch very far. It's about 4%. You don't want to tear a ligament because they take forever, and tendons to fix, to heal. Take each strap take your straps now, bring your left foot up to the sky, take the straps into your right hand, and then cross it over to the right. And you go as far as you wish without picking up that left shoulder. Once the left shoulder lifts up, then you've gone a little too far. And feel that stretch all the way up, those piriformis muscles, the muscles we were working yesterday. What is it like? Or yesterday, the second session. Breathing in and out. Keep going, breathing and letting everything go, enjoying this moment. It's like going to a retreat and being given permission to just relax and to take it easy, right? Pick your left leg up towards the sky, take the strap and place it on the ground next to you. We're not going to need that for the rest of the class. Hug your left knee into your chest. Bring your right foot back on the ground with the knee pointing up. Take your left ankle, place it back on the right thigh. Take your hands, slide them behind your right thigh, or maybe for those who are quite flexible, on the shin, and create a 90-degree angle with that right leg. And then energetically pushing that left knee forward as you pull that right knee in towards the ankle. Hip opener. Inhaling and exhaling. Chin is slightly tucked, as if you have an apple between your chin and your chest. So I believe in me, myself. And you could keep just saying it without understanding what exactly that means. It's just that you trust yourself. You make decisions. Sometimes we make mistakes. And we learn from them. Slide the hands from the backs of your right leg. Place the right foot back on the ground. Open the arms out to the sides and let your knees drop to the left, coming into a spinal twist. Oh, and that should feel nice on that right hip. Leaving that left foot on the left ankle on the right thigh unless you need to take it off. If it's painful in any way, you make sure you don't continue doing something. And then inhaling, lifting back up and taking that left leg off the right thigh and placing the soles of the feet together. Let them open up in Baddha Konasana just for a moment, opening up those legs. With the hands, it's called supine Baddha Konasana. So it's resting Baddha Konasana. Let the hips gently open, and then take your hands to the outside of those legs, and let's crisscross the ankles, either roll up or come over to one side, come all the way up to sitting, and let's sit up nice and tall. Come into your cross-legged seat for just a moment. Wiggle from side to side, and let's just take our right hand out to the side. Let's just do a gentle side stretch just to warm up our sides for just a moment as we move into the next stretch. Inhale, lift back up and stretch over to the left side. Reach the arm over and then reach back up and then place both hands down. Now take your left leg out as if it's a half a straddle. Otherwise, and then place your right foot inside your left thigh. Make sure, and this is, I suppose, no, we don't really need the strap for this one. Take your left arm inside your left leg. Make sure you're nice and open, that right foot is pushing into your thigh. And either the left hand inside and you can push. Some of us don't have the flexibility in our spine. So just place your left elbow on your thigh, not the knee, but the thigh, and rest your head in your hand. That's another option. So push into that leg, opening up the side, twisting. Now take your right arm, reach it up to the sky, place that right hand behind your head, just cradle your head. This is where it's staying, your hand. Inhaling that elbow up towards the sky, and I want you to exhale, stretch over towards your left leg. And breathe. The most important time to breathe is when we're holding stretches. We forget to breathe. This is when you hold your breath and then everything tenses up. We don't want to tense, we want to relax. So breathe in and then exhale, release, maybe go a little deeper, but without pushing into the stretch. Let it happen organically. You should be feeling lots of sensations here in the right side of your body and also the hip joint. And then lift back up, woo, and just let yourself fold forward onto the ground. Drop your head. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take an inhale and exhale. Slide the hands towards you. And let's just switch. Take your right leg out to the side. Place your left foot inside your right thigh. Squaring your chest forward. Everything's on the ground, all those sit bones. And then place your right hand inside your right thigh. Or the other option is elbow on the thigh and your head cradled in your hand. And then take an inhale. I have my speaker here, so it's getting in the way. Press into that right leg and then lift your left arm up. Stretch first and then place the hand on the back of your head. Inhale that left elbow up towards the ceiling and then stretch over to the right. You want your right ear stacked over that right leg. Right foot is flexed. Holding but breathing. I know, I forget to breathe myself. You're just hanging out here, but the breath, the diaphragmatic breath, is so important as a part of the stretching. It enhances the stretch, it calms the nervous system, it helps you go deeper, even though it's just very subtle depth. And then inhale, lift back up. Let's bring the arms forward and fold forward. So a different kind of yoga, more of a yin style, which is a relaxed, slow, less dynamic. Walk your hands towards your legs and then come onto your hands and knees into your tabletop. from here, we're going to open the knees, hip distance, and let's press towards the heels, press towards your child's pose, and then just lift up back into your tabletop. And we're going to go through several cat and cows to loosen up your spine. So inhaling, and then exhaling, arching through the spine, rounding through the back, looking towards between your legs, and then inhaling into a cow stretch where you tilt your tailbone, lift your heart. So if you're new to this, you might, these two postures warm up your spine, but they tone your tummy muscles at the same time. And they stretch everything out. You can feel your hips, your back, your front of your body. Let's do 2 more sets at your own pace. One more set. And then the next inhalation, come back to a neutral spine, sit back into a child's pose, reaching the arms forward, stretching through those arms, forehead resting on the ground. Let yourself breathe in and out. No tension. Feeling in. How does your body feel? And then walk your hands back towards your knees, and then come onto your right hip and swing your legs forward. And let's stretch over those legs. Just come into your forward bend. Let yourself just take a pause here, but as we pause, we breathe in and out. Sometimes these slower yin style classes help to give us more energy, believe it or not. Take an inhale and exhale, slide the hands back next to your hips, slide your bottom to your heels, and let's lower ourselves onto our backs again. We were just there for most of the class. Now we're on our backs again. Hug your knees into your chest. And then open the arms out to the sides. Let your knees drop to the left. Turn your gaze to the right. You might begin to notice you're becoming more flexible. Maybe by today, there's a difference in how your body feels. Maybe you're walking different. You're more aware of your gait, how you walk. Then inhale the knees back up. Give yourself a hug. Bring your forehead towards your knees, rounding up through that spine. And then drop your head back down, arms out to the sides, and drop your knees to the right. Spinal twist. Turn your gaze to the left. These are great things to do if you run or you do any kind of doing a lot of walking. It stretches out your muscles either before you go and run or after. Better after, but because for running you need a little bit more of dynamic types of stretches. But it's all good, it doesn't matter. And then let's extend your left leg to the left corner of the mat, right to the right. Let your arms open out to the sides. Allow yourself to wiggle around a little bit, finding that Shavasana. Closing your eyes. Letting your body melt into the mat, bone by bone, muscle. Let everything become really heavy. You don't have to hold anything up. Staying here for 2 to 5 minutes as I find my way up to seal the practice for today or for this session. As I bring my hands in front of my heart to remind you that this flexibility is our fountain of youth. When we're flexible, when we can move with ease, When we can, our muscles and our fascia, all that connective tissue are longer and more toned. That contributes to that moving with ease. We feel like children again. We can sit differently, we can move differently. So this is why we're doing this. One of the many reasons. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And I'll see you in the next session. Namaste on flexibility. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane. And if you're YouTubers, feel free to subscribe if you want more, or give me a thumbs up, or comment. And if you want to experience some live classes, look at yogawithrebeccajane.com, and that will give you all the classes that I'm teaching. Namaste, everyone. I'll see you soon.